Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alphanine. Let me situate my lamp a little bit better. I took off for 2 days. What a great day to come back. Have you seen the news today? Did you see the news yesterday? I made a lot of posts in the members only section. Did you see that? What a great time to come back. Lots of good news. They're going wild with bullish, explosive XRP predictions. They're backing it up with data. I love it. Let's begin here. All right. We're going to start with this article on the cryptobasic.com. I hope you're all doing well out there. Things are looking good. This article is titled, "Historical Patterns Could Result in 482% or 51,000% increase for XRP. I'll take it. I'll take it. Leading to, get this, a $3.30 price, or, which is very possible, very reasonable, or $250. I'll take it. So let's go here. It says here, in a recent XRP analysis, renowned analyst XRP, oh yeah, XRP has been on the A game. I'm loving everything I'm reading here. It says presented two possible scenarios that could significantly impact XRP's price trajectory. XRP's insights suggest that depending on the direction XRP takes, it could either surge to $3.30. Oh yeah. Or rally to $250. Now, it says here, XRP emphasizes the importance of understanding the patterns observed in previous cycles, referred to as cycle A and cycle B. By drawing parallels between these cycles and current price action, the analyst provides a comprehensive outlook for XRP. So now, then there's a bunch of charts here. Make sure you go to cryptobasic.com. This is on their front page. Give them some traffic for this. He has all the evidence backing up his claims. So now, it says notably, cycle A occurred from December 2014 to January 2018. It involved a series of fluctuations in the price of XRP with an eventual rally observed in January 2018. Similarly, cycle B, which occurred from November 2020 to April 2021, witnessed such fluctuations and price rally. Now, look, he's backing everything up, or this person rather is backing everything up with the charts and such like that. I'll say this. What I believe will lend towards something, an explosive run like this is the ending of the case. Various banks, stepping in and saying, hey, yeah, we're using XRP. And then the articles are beginning to circulate around, the utility of XRP beginning to kick in. Right. And, when I'm talking about articles and interviews and such, which Ripple will be involved in once it comes out that all of these banks are involved with XRP, which the news has been suppressed severely, then it's going to bring in other businesses that want to utilize XRP as well. That's where the big money is. All of these banks now, the small banks are having a massive problem, not just with commercial real estate. They got a lot of problems. We have an article coming up on that. Check the chapters out. Oh, we're cooking today. Today's a huge day. Huge. So now I want to leave that there. Let's move on to another article here. All right. Now, this article is also from the cryptobasic.com. They are cooking over there. I know it's an old school phrase. I know I'm showing my age, but that's what we used to say. They're cooking. That means they're doing really good. And this article is titled XRP Set to Break Major Long Resistance, Gearing Up for Parabolic Pump. Oh, yeah. Money, 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 money. Oh, man. I love this whole XRP game. I just do. XRP XLM Algorand. I love the bank coin game. I do. Listen, I got plenty of short-term money plays and such like that. But that's not something that you discuss here because about it, like I said, plenty of times, by the time you tell people about a short money play, a quick money play, it's already over. It's already at a high. Then those people could be in jeopardy. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is it's always good to have a balance. Long-term investments, then you have your short-term investments. You have your long money, you have your quick money, right? I think that's reasonable, right? And then diversification is something else also that's important. This is not financial advice, all right? Not a financial advisor, I always have to say that. But diversification is important, right? You got a few stocks here and there. You got some crypto here and there. You got some commodities, some precious metals and such like that. Maybe you own a little bit of real estate, even if it's fractionalized real estate. So you can diversify. Some people own art, right? They invest in art and such like that. So, look, try to keep things as balanced as possible in the money game. But when it comes to long-term plays, explosive money, XRP is fun in my humble opinion. So anyway, so this article was titled XRP set to break major year-long resistance, gearing for parabolic pump. It says here, XRP resilience amidst challenges sparks hope for a parabolic breakout as it nears significant resistance, igniting excitement in the community. Yes. Oh yeah, they should be excited. I'm excited. XRP has displayed remarkable resilience amid the market-wide turbulence. Despite Ripple's legal battle with SEC, XRP has shown consistent performance. Consistent expansion is what's important. Consistently bringing in banks, that's what's important. Did you see the article the other day where two Ripple partners are utilizing the XRPL or Ripple, something like that, and you don't have Ripple without the XRPL, and Ripple is nothing without XRP. So obviously XRP, whether it's in play now or in play later, is going to be moving a lot of that capital, or if not all of that capital, obviously, right? But every day, the point is, every single day, every week, we're constantly getting updated with these major moves that are happening on the XRPL, and it's absolutely amazing. The setup is beautiful. We just got to get past this SEC case. That's all. We will run wild. How can we not? Look at all the banks. Look at all the non-banking financial institutions that we're connected to. All right, so let's continue on here. So it says leading experts in the crypto space, such as Crypto Bull and Michael XBT, anticipate a parabolic pump for XRP once it successfully surpasses the resistance, while the precise price targets remain undisclosed. The significance of this potential shift cannot be overstated. In a tweet shared by Michael XBT, a renowned analyst, all right, he underscored the importance of the current resistance level for XRP. All right, I'm going to leave that there, because if you want to see the rest of that here, I'll just go to thecryptobasic.com, show them some love and support so they can keep on coming out with these absolutely fantastic articles. Just my humble opinion. All right, let's see if there's anything else, right? I don't want to give away all their analysis. They're calling for high prices for XRP again. Then they have there's a balance here. So a section here, they're calling for high prices. Another section, they're being more reasonable. All right. It's not, I'm going to say reasonable, but they're being more conservative. My apologies. All right. My apologies. So now let's move on to another article here. So now this article, we're making our way over to U.Today, baby. All of these websites are cooking today. Ay, Dios mío, they're cooking. Yeah. Says XRP price set to soar if history repeats itself. Top analyst predicts. So many. So we have EGRAG. We have the other guy, the other person from the other article. Now we have Ali Martinez. Talk to me, Ali. Says here, in a recent tweet, renowned crypto analyst Ali Martinez drew attention to a fascinating correlation between the surge in XRP price and the number of XRP addresses. Could this pattern repeat itself once again, leading to a potential price rally for XRP? On-chain data from crypto intelligence portal Sentiment seems to suggest so. More data backing up the XRP explosion incoming. I'm patient. Whenever it happens, it happens. I don't think it's going to be too long, to be quite honest. And on top of that, everything is looking to be start to begin slanting in the favor of crypto. Now that you have all the big companies coming out praising crypto, BlackRock, HSBC, everybody wants a part of crypto. You have to know that the top assets in the future, in my humble opinion, the top assets in the future when it comes to ETFs and big institutional investors will be, don't get me wrong, Bitcoin, Ethereum will have their slice of the cake. There's enough money to go around. Everybody's going to make money, in my humble opinion. That's how I feel. Everybody's going to make money. But the top things will be like XRP, Quant. I think Stellar's in there, right? That's my personal belief. Stellar's in there. Algorand, the bank coins are in there. Cello. They have all the big connections, right? They just haven't had the spotlight just yet because of regulatory clarity in their utility, but we're going to get there. So it says here, according to Martinez's chart, on-chain activity surrounding the XRP token has witnessed a significant surge exceeding 120,000 daily addresses since the middle of the previous week. Although this figure falls short of the spikes witnessed in May and March, it is comparable to the numbers observed at the beginning of the year. During that time, the XRP price soared by over 25%. If this historical trend were to apply to the present scenario, it would indicate a potential rise to 60 cents per XRP. I'll take it. You're like Alphanim, you'll take any price on XRP. Now I'm positive about all the different advancements, whether it's in their expansion in products and their new partnerships, the price increasing by anything, small steps forward, leading up to a run. You know, we're getting ready to play, and I'm very happy about that. Interestingly, and remember, when XRP goes up, historically, XLM goes up too. All right, I'm having a little bit of fun. I'm feeling good. You know, I'm not trying to convince you to feel the same way. You have your own emotions, your own mind, but I'm just expressing myself, and I feel very good right now. Interestingly, the price level coincides with an incredibly strong resistance level. However, it is important to exercise caution and avoid solely relying on this data. No caution needed. I'm a long-term investor. I'm not worried about that at all. Short-term stuff, but it is fun if positive things are happening. All right. So it says the crypto market remains highly unpredictable. That we know. They go into that regular, general information that everybody puts out there. Like, be careful. All right. So we already know that. Appreciate your work, Mr. Martinez. All right, so we're going to go here. So now, this article is also from U.Today. Check them out. They're doing a great job over there. This article is titled, XRP Flashes Bullish Case for Growth Amid Market Downturn. Details. This is written by Mr. Godfrey Benjamin. Let's see what they're talking about here. The crypto market opened the week with a bearish turn, with the combined crypto market cap dropping as low as $1.18 trillion, followed by a 1.98% slump over the past 48 hours. I think there could, you want me to be completely honest, I think there's going to be more of a downturn coming up soon because of certain catalysts. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not just crypto. The stock market could be affected greatly as well. But I think I have an article about that here. I'm not sure, but we'll get to that another time. So the number of altcoins have been impacted by these bear runs, and XRP is in their league. The XRP coin is changing hands at a price of 48 cents, down by 0.85%. To crush its ambition, never. You must not know XRP. For a steady rise to new highs. Well, if you're talking about right now, okay, that's a little bit severe to use such wording, but I can see that the wording is expedient. However, never. XRP's never bearish, never. Not given what it can do. No, there's no way. It might, just respectfully, I say that respectfully, you can disagree. Everybody out there can disagree with me if they wanted to, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So while the losses accrued appear relatively mild for now, it has extended the weekly dip by 1.74%. Divergent price actions are not uncommon with XRP, but amid this ongoing price slip, the cryptocurrency is flashing. Here we go. So all that, this is how I'm taking it. It was like all this negative information to get to this right here, this positive news right here. The cryptocurrency is flashing a bullish case for growth. XRP, bank coins. So you have analysts, multiple analysts from the Crypto Basic, you have multiple analysts from Twitter, you have multiple analysts from U.Today, all saying XRP is poised for an explosion, possibly sometime in the future, near future. All right, then there's no guarantees, but we know that there's no guarantees. Still pretty fun, right? To think about. Still very, very possible. All right, so flashing a bullish case for growth with its impressive trading volume. Overnight, the buying momentum of the digital currency has soared by 9.15% to $765 million. Oh yeah, oh yeah. The growth in trading volume is indicative of many things, including the fact that the interest in XRP as a multi-purpose utility asset remains intact and is not going anywhere. It's only getting stronger. XRP, Stellar, Algorand, Quant, they continue to improve everything about themselves. XDC as well, Hedera, the bank coins never rest on their laurels. They never rest on their past successes. They're always becoming better. And that, in my humble opinion, is what ensures a bright future for them, that they will be sought after. You see how Franklin Templeton is praising Stellar, right? You see how the experts claim $5 trillion is waiting to get into XRP. That's what they said. You saw the other video, right? I think it was either the last video I put out or the one before that, where it's about 5 trillion. It might have been titled 5 trillion. But watch that video. $5 trillion waiting to get in XRP. You see what Algorand is doing, right? Did you see what Algorand just did? They're always getting stronger. The future is extremely bright for those who are going to actually be there in the future, you know. Hey. All right, so now let's move on here. So now we have this article here from U.Today. They're cooking over there. They're doing very good. I hope all you are doing well out there. I hope you're feeling healthy mentally, spiritually, physically. I hope that your lives are going well, and I hope nothing but the best for you. We got off to a running start this week. We're going to conquer this week. Nothing's going to stop us. We're going to make more money than we ever made before this week. All right. We're going to have clearer minds than we ever did before this week. We're going to drink healthier, eat healthier than we ever did this week. Set the goals high, right? Set the goals high. We're going to exceed the goals. Nothing can stop us. Nothing can bind us. All right. So let's get to the money. So now, this article from U.Today is titled Ripple Lawsuit XRP Community Debates Timing of Summary Judgment. Let's see what they're talking about here. All right, I'm out of the loop. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. You guys aren't informing me. Oh man, not every day I'm gonna be like this silly. Not that it matters really, but you know, you gotta have fun when you're feeling good. You got to maximize that time. You do. You know, life is crazy. Anyway. This begins here. Legal experts and the XRP community weighed in on the discussion regarding the likely timing of summary judgment in the Ripple lawsuit. It should be recalled that in December 2022, briefings for summary judgment in the Ripple case were completed. Now, over 6 months later, the XRP community eagerly awaits the court's decision and a favorable ruling in the case. You remember all the judge shows used to have somebody that comes in, they do the intro like that. Judge, how am I forgetting those judge? Judge Joe Brown. Then who else was it? Judge, it was the lady. How can I forget? I remember Judge Mills Lane. Who was the lady? She didn't take any nonsense. And she was very hard on the people. I liked her show a lot. Who was that? What judge? I can't remember. And you know what's crazy? Oh, she looked a lot like my grandmother. Was it Judge Judy? Is it Judge Judy? Yeah, oh my goodness. Every time I watch Judge Judy, I'm like, oh my gosh, she looked just like grandma. In my opinion, my brother probably watching like, oh, Judge Judy don't look like grandma. No, to me, she looked like grandma. Oh yeah. And they both were serious business. You don't play around with those kind of people. They're strong. They're gonna get you, you know what I mean? So anyway, how did I start talking about? Oh, because of the voices in the intro. Anyway, Judge Mills Lane was one of my favorite too. Well, I was little back then, right? So anyway, it says here, back to what triggered the debate. A vocal XRP community member, Mr. Huber, we've been hearing a lot from Mr. Huber, shared a screenshot of information he had found online about how long it might take a court to review legal filings and decide on requests from summary judgment. XRP community has some of the absolute best researchers on the planet. I mean, they dig up everything. You know, I'm humbled to be a part of the community, you know, and I've offered the bits of research that I've been able to offer, right? So it says Mr. Huber shared one of the findings he saw, which stated, quote, 1 to 3 months, the statement read. Ooh. It says, quote, a judge usually takes 1 to 3 months to consider legal briefs. That means it's coming, folks, and decide whether to grant or deny a summary judgment, unquote. This he reacted to saying, quote, fake news. Well, this case is very different. Very, very different. So then they have a tweet here. Let's read this little tweet. It says, I recall people following the LBRY case thinking the judge was taking a long time and speculating that was a good sign for the defendant, which was a big nope. Volume of material to review seems like the only thing to read into that timing, into the timing. Okay. It says here, the filings in Ripple are 10x the filings of LBRY. Hence, that explains the timeline. And a lot of other people have iterated the same thing. There's a ton of documents, ton of documents. It says, remember also, LBRY's counsel stipulated that prongs 1 and 2 were satisfied, and the only contested prong in the case was prong 3. That's interesting that they took that position, all right, which has a 2-part test. That's why some people say Howey is a 4-factor test. All right, that was, of course, that was John Dean. It says, his tweet drew the attention of former SEC lawyer Mark Fagel. Oh, no, it's 50-50. Sometimes Fagel could be positive, sometimes negative. Let's see what he has to say. Who concurred that the timeline of 1 to 3 months was incorrect, while adding that legal research done on the internet might not be factual. That's true as well. Fagel gives an illustration. In one particular federal district court, summary judgment motions take, on average, about six months, according to the most current review of federal cases he examined. Either way, when I'm thinking about it, whether it's the 3 months or 6 months, whatever timeline, it all points to our case is almost over. That's what it points to, that we don't have long. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know. But that's what I'm getting from this, right? Because I removed myself from the debate. So I'm not here to debate. I'm not here to side with this person or that. So if I remove those caveats, then what I'm getting here just from raw observation is it's almost over for us, which I think makes a lot of sense considering all of the different lawyers saying, hey, we have days to weeks before it's over, right? You see how that kind of fits together like a puzzle? It says here, Ripple is approaching 7 months. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it may take just a little, it's taking a little bit longer, but no, there's no way around it that it's almost over. Right? All right. And then we'll find out a lot once it is over. So it says crypto law founder John Deaton joined the Twitter discussion. We already read the tweet, so I'm going to leave that here. That once again, that's on u.today. So now let's move on. We have a lot more articles to get through here. Now let's get to a little bit of Stellar news. Oh, you're telling on yourself, Stellar. You're telling on yourself. And I expect big things out of you in the future. I only speak for myself. I'm a long-term holder of XLM, and I'm going to keep on holding. But let's read this little tidbit because you told a little bit. And it makes sense why Stellar is so embraced by governments and so embraced by these big companies where a lot of other companies are not. They have a tough time. Check this out. They just put a video out on Stellar Development Foundation's YouTube channel. Listen, even if you don't watch the video, read the transcript. All right? I know, because some people like reading. They don't like watching videos. I'm like that. I'm more of a reader. So I want to read these first little pieces to you here. It's going to bring a lot of pieces together to the puzzle, a lot of clarity into how Stellar is doing what it does with Franklin Templeton, with the United Nations, with the White House. They had connections for years. And this is what I was saying when Stellar Foundation, when Denell Dixon and others were sitting on all those panels with the government. And you had senators and people, I think it was senators or was it congressmen? They were on multiple panels. Sometimes they were even on panels with Ripple, on panels with Algorand. Remember that in the beginning? And there was a lot of interest there. There were all types of congressmen and senators asking them questions about Stellar. And Denell Dixon was making a heck of a case. But let's read this little tidbit here. Bear with me, please. It says, welcome Carol House. So this person's name is Carol House, according to the transcript, if that's correct. Says, so great to have you here. Thanks for joining me today on Block by Block. Let me scroll down a little bit. It says, for our listeners, could you share a little bit about yourself? This is where it gets very interesting, folks. It shows you the connections Stellar has. Carol says that she started in the Army actually as a chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear defense officer. So now you know it's going somewhere interesting. It says moved over into intelligence, specifically as a collection manager. It says, I spent some time on the Hill in Senate. On the Hill in Senate? It says then in Homeland Security. Look at the connections Stellar has. Don't worry, they're going to tell you. You might be thinking to yourself, well, this is just an interview. They're just interviewing this person. No, they had connections before. We'll get there. So Homeland Security, and then made my way over to FinCEN. FinCEN. Remember we went through all the battles? They weren't even here in Stellar back then. Remember the battles with FAFTA, with FinCEN, all the letters that Denell Dixon was writing. We went through a heck of a time in that period. In price, you know, when we first got in, Stellar the XLM was low. Then boom, it went up. Everything went up. Algorand exploded, Cello exploded. Everything was exploding. If you remember, you go check the charts, you'll see. So that's why I say a lot of times, this is a lot of our second times around. A lot of people took profit at that time. This is our second time around for a lot of these bank coins to explode again. They already boomed. We got in at a low. But anyway, it says here, Homeland Security, okay, and then made my way over to FinCEN, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network and the Anti-Money Laundering Regulator. This explains why once Stellar made it out of those little battles there, they haven't had too many problems after that. A lot of people don't realize that because they, like I said, they weren't around at that time to witness it. We witnessed it here on the channel. They have connections, folks, powerful ones. But let's keep going. It says Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, the Anti-Money Laundering Regulator for the U.S. They had a cyber unit, and when they told me that their mission was to hunt down, let's scroll down here. My apologies, bear with me. Then it says here, I was the lead for cyber, crypto, and identity policy there. And then my last tour in federal service was when I went to the National Security Council. These are the connections Stellar has. This is one of the reasons I firmly believe, and once again, I'm a long-term holder. So if you're a short-term person in XLM, or if that capital that you're putting in may be detrimental to you, you're probably going to have a different outlook than I do. All right. But this is one of the reasons why I believe Stellar XLM is going to be very successful in the future. And I think we're going to see a lot of things we're not seeing now once there's regulatory clarity. I think they're going to put XLM heavily in play, not via USDC. I think they're going to put, just my humble opinion, I think they're going to at that time put XLM in play raw. It is a bridge currency. Why would you not use it as a bridge currency? You think it's not a bridge currency? Type in on Google IBM Stellar Lumens bridge currency and then read that little piece that comes up. There's a piece on there. Back is from when they were using WorldWire. XLM is a bridge currency just like XRP, and it can be used for liquidity. It depends on what you use it for. Why would they not access that? They're only not tapping that right now to stay out of the war that the SEC is waging on everybody. Other than that, XLM is in the clear. With CFTC, FinCEN here, they're in the clear in a lot of different places. We're just waiting for that last little piece, and that's what I think. Then on top of that, keep in mind, you got to keep in mind, I know I'm getting a little deep here. What did IBM do with WorldWire? What did they do? They made it open source. You think that's not strategic? Open source means anybody can build on it and sell it. They can improve it. You think somebody didn't take that and say to themselves, well, we can use this as a bridge currency as well? And you think that people, that companies don't think that way after Franklin Templeton rained all this praise on Stellar? You know how many other companies probably are using Stellar as well? They just haven't said it yet. So those are things I keep in mind as well. There's a lot of potential in the future. I just want to see if they can actuate on all of that, right? But anyway, let's continue on here with this. It says here, I know I'm a little excited. My apologies. Let me calm down. It says, to cryptocurrency, ransomware, and digital identity. I loved, this is Danelle Dixon talking. I loved when you were, I think she said when you were right there. Let me play the section. As a matter of fact, let's play it. And I just want to hear that little piece because the transcript is not clear.
Tour in federal service so far was when I went to the National Security Council to.
So she says she went to the National Security Council.
Related to cryptocurrency, ransomware, and digital identity. I loved when you were. I love where you are right now too, by the way. But I loved when you were in the White House and when you.
Danelle Dixon just said, "I loved when you were in the White House." What?
And when you were working with the NSC.
And when you were working with the NSC.
Because really, I knew that we.
Because I knew Danelle Dixon, which obviously is stellar. Because I knew.
Someone who really.
We had someone there that really understood the technology.
Attention to it, and so it was super helpful to have that vantage point.
And it was super helpful.
Something that I think we.
To have that vantage point. So Stellar was able to make a lot of moves and avoid a whole lot of problems because of individuals like this. This is one. I could be alone on this. I feel like Stellar has a bright future. And I will stand alone. I'm strong enough to do that. That's how I personally feel. We'll see. It may take some years. I think everything's going to take a few years. Yeah, 2024 is going to be huge, sure. And sure, price could be drug up by XRP going up. XLM will go up as well. But I think when you're talking about the bank coins, utility coins, 2 to 3 years. 2 to 3 years. The first year is just going to be spent with everyone trying to roll out regulations. You got MiCA coming out first, coming out heavy. You have a lot of other regulations rolling out around the world, or they're trying to formulate them. That comes first. That's all 2024. And then after regulations, then you can run wild. Don't get me wrong. We win this SEC case. Sure, we could do a whole lot more. But with regulations, we can do much more than that. You let me know what you guys think in the comment section. All right. All right. I respect your thoughts, and I learn from people as well. I'm always open to learn. All right, so I'm going to stop there. But that video was powerful. They just unveiled a hidden piece to the puzzle. Stellar has massive connections in every organization. The ones that matter. White House. This also makes sense to why the White House was calling Stellar. They didn't call, well, we don't know. They probably been calling Ripple a lot, but they just didn't put that out there. But Stellar definitely put that out there. The White House called them to ask them questions. You think that's not powerful? You think those other organizations didn't see that? Hey, I don't know what to tell you. There's no guarantees for the future, right? So let me just put that out there once again. But I think Stellar's future is going to be bright. I think XLM's future is going to be bright. I think it's a very hidden future. Just my humble opinion. You don't have to agree with me. All right, so now let's move on here. Oh yeah. We have so much news today. I'm trying to get us through as much as possible. So this article here is from the AmericanBanker.com, so it's reputable. This is what I'm telling you. The banks are finished. We're going to take that bank money. It's our money now. Just going to take a little time. They're going to hand it over. Just my personal opinion, not financial advice. This article is titled 10 banks. Right, 10 banks. What was it? Last year we covered all those banks that were getting hacked. There was a list of I don't remember what video that was, but people got the screenshots. They downloaded that. My people are really good about that. It was a list of 70 banks getting hacked. And they said it was even more. But okay, let's just read this article. Let's go by what they're saying right now. 10 banks alleged victims of ransomware. Ransomware attacks on file transfer software. And this is exactly why the banks are trying to gobble up DLTs, distributed ledger technologies, the blockchains, hashgraph. They need security. And now that we're combining everything with artificial intelligence, I mean, we're going to be unstoppable and be quantum proof. If you're talking about Algorand, Hedera, quantum proof. They're going to need stuff like this. Last year, they had a problem with some of the banks. Their systems were getting shut down. If you're using a DLT, they could attack one piece of it. Everything else continues to work like nothing ever happened. But let's see what's going on with these banks. They're so good. They're so secure. Companies, I'm saying, obviously that's some sarcasm. Companies and government agencies have been added in recent days to the list of institutions victimized by a supply chain cyber attack. Did I put out that members only video? I think I talked about something like this. And I don't know if I put it out or not. I record so many videos and don't put them out. If I don't think it's good enough, then I don't put it out. Simple as that. Cyber attack by a ransomware gang that exploited a weakness in file transfer software popular with enterprises. And banks should be ashamed of that. Banks, listen. Just call Algorand. I'm serious. Call Algorand, call Ripple, right? You can layer them together. Call Quant for Overledger as well, so you can have smooth transitions and glue everything together between the new financial system and the old financial system. I'm not kidding either. We have a lot of people from banks that watch the channel. You'd be surprised. Call Algorand. They're very, very easy to work with. Or not. You don't have to. Mean nothing to me. Either way, Algorand's going to take off. Either way, I'm just saying. This is disgusting that this is happening. But anyway, let's continue on. Great for the new financial system. To date, the sector with the largest share of victims has been financial services, specifically banks and credit unions. I'm glad they said that. A lot of people, they believe the credit unions are more secure than banks. This is from American Banker, so they're telling you what's factual information. On May 27th, ransomware gang, I don't know how to pronounce this, CIOP, okay, started exploiting a zero-day vulnerability in Progress Software's product Movelt to steal data from at least 91 organizations, including state and federal agencies, and at least 10 U.S. banks. Now the question is which banks, right? Wouldn't you want to know that? 10 U.S. banks and credit unions. People better start calling their banks. Data compromised in the leaks include names, addresses, birthdays, social security numbers. These banks, what? How are they going to resolve this? That's the question. You see what I'm talking about? These banks are finished. Who wants to use them? This is why people are turning to alternatives to keep their capital safe, to keep their information safe. Know your customer? Well, yeah. The hackers definitely know your customers now. They definitely do. Progress notified customers about the vulnerability on May 31st. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, that's nice, right? You let us know that our information got stolen. Nice. And released a patch for it 2 days later. Yes, but you can't get the information back, can you? No, you can't. Yeah. That's why they were reporting so much information has been flooding the dark web, getting sold, right? You can look that up too. Don't just take my word for it. Look everything up I say. Check everything I say. So that way you can see it for yourself. It's better for you to see it for yourself. That's how I feel. All right. So now let's move on from there. All right. We have more. I have like maybe 8 more articles. Let's see which ones we can get through. So now this one, I felt this one is in direct correlation with Algorand, the medical industry dominator. They have a couple of offerings, which is interesting because I hear the most from the one offering that went to India, and they were doing some. What was the company? They're based out of like Voorhees, New Jersey. That I remember. And then they're in India, and they're doing a whole lot with the medical industry. They're revolutionizing the medical industry. That's just one medical offering on Algorand. Oh, MyPay. That's what it was called, MyPay. There's 2 other ones, and that's just the ones we know about. So Algorand, once again, dominating the medical industry, and that's why I think about them when I see this here. This is from NPR.org, and it's titled Cyber Attacks on Hospitals. Oh, man, these hackers, man, they are exposing all of these archaic, antiquated legacy systems and showing people how horrible they are and unsafe they are. Even though they've been claiming crypto is unsafe, while all along they were the most unsafe because they have everybody's sensitive information. But anyway, let's read this little tidbit here. It says cyber attacks on hospitals should be considered a regional disaster. Okay, let's scroll down here. It says it was early in May 2021 when patients flooded the emergency room at the University of California, San Diego Health Center. Quote, we were bringing in backup staff. Our wait times had gone haywire. The whole system was overloaded. We know what they're talking about there. It says, but the crunch wasn't the result of a massive accident or the latest wave of redacted, variant. The influx was the direct result of a ransomware attack. They're hitting them all with these ransomware attacks. A costly and unfortunately now common form of cybercrime in which hackers lock down their victims' files. Let me add a little bit in there. In which hackers expose the legacy system for being flawed and not caring. They knew about these vulnerabilities. They never took action. They know, listen, everyone knows that's in any real business that, let's phrase it, criminal element is always advancing itself. So you must also always advance yourself in hopes of staying ahead of them. If they're not doing that, and these legacy systems do not do that, then you're going to be vulnerable. So hence, this is why I say they knew. But they're lazy. They don't want to put out, they want to make a lot of money. I get that. I want to make a lot of money too. But also, they don't want to put out money in order to be secure, to become better. They don't want to do that. They will put out some money at one period of time and then just coast for a long time. You can't do that. Anyway, and once again, this is why now what's happening. Look this up as well. Don't just take my word for it. The medical industry is scrambling for distributed ledger technologies. They're scrambling for artificial intelligence. They're scrambling for more artificial intelligence based robotic systems. We've read a lot of articles like that before. We haven't covered that in months, but yeah, but you've seen it. Okay, so now let's continue on here. So wait, let me mix in. Let me end it off with, this is why I believe the offerings that are on Algorand that are trying to take over a good swath of the medical industry will be successful and have been successful. And I believe that with regulatory clarity in the United States, at some point, I think they will run wild. I think they'll do it very, very well. Right now, Algorand is ahead of the pack. They're very secure, very low cost, almost no cost at all for transactions, right? And the offerings on Algorand are some of the most advanced technological offerings out there, right? And they secure information. Not only do they secure information, but they make the accessibility to information and traceability as well very, very easy, right? You want to know where this baby bottle or milk came from and who put it here, when, scan a little QR code, all information pops up. And patients will be able to access their information as well. So I think they're going to do very, very well because of things like this. This is the time to leap on everything and go to companies and say, hey, you see this data about hospitals and the vulnerabilities that they have and they're getting hacked. And we have a solution to that. You have to use things like this to your advantage. I believe that they are. They've been doing well. And we'll keep an eye on it in the future. But yes, I think Algorand will take over the medical industry if given the opportunity. So now let's move on here. Now, this article here is from the dailyhodl.com and it's titled, Legendary Investor Jim Rogers issues global economic warning, says next bear market will be the biggest in his lifetime. All right, so let's see what they're talking about. Bear market, okay. Veteran American investor, okay, they reiterate that from the top. In a new interview with Real Vision Finance, Rogers says current economic conditions are similar to just before the great financial crisis of 2008. So now we have at least 4 or 5 investors, economists iterating the same thing. They're ringing the alarm. Is anybody hearing this? I'm hearing it, but I'm taking actions to protect my capital, to protect my value. But let's continue on here. It says, but the setup is far worse. Rogers, a close associate of prolific investor George Soros and a co-founder of Soros Fund. Okay, I think we heard from this individual. Oh, no, it was another individual. That's right. It was a lady. I can't remember her name, but she was also related to Soros Fund. But let's continue on here. It says, and co-founder of Soros Fund Management says that the amount of debt that has accumulated within the system will inevitably lead to a severe bear market in risk assets. Quote, I know we're going to have the largest bear market, the biggest bear market in my lifetime. In 2008, we had a big bear market because of too much debt. Look out the window. Since 2008, the debt everywhere has skyrocketed. Gigantic increases in debt. So I think it's a simple statement that the bear market will be the worst in my lifetime because the debt has gone up by such staggering amounts in the past 14 months. Rogers references the great inflationary crisis of 1980. He says, well, there will be trouble in all the markets, property markets, stock markets, bond markets, currency markets, everything. You're not old enough to remember, but in 1980 and 1979, we had our last huge inflationary spiral. Interest rates from short-term government treasury bills, interest rates from treasury bills were over 21%. That's not a typo. This is what he's saying. Over 21%, because the situation was out of control. We had to do something. We did. It killed inflation, but it wasn't a lot of fun for a lot of people. So that's what's going to happen. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Once again, this is on dailyhodl.com. If you want to read the rest, and they actually have a little video here if you just want to listen to it. You can play the video. I usually play videos if I have to watch a video, which is not very often. But if I have to watch a video like the Stellar one earlier, which is very rare, I usually listen to it like it's a podcast. Like, I don't even have to watch the video. I just have to listen to what they're saying, right? It's about the information in the end. So now let's move on here. So now we have this article here. We'll just do 2 more articles. I actually have about 6 more articles left, but I'm just going to do these last 2 because I'm trying to get you the best information possible. This article is from fortune.com and it's titled Morgan Stanley's top strategist says stocks are on the precipice of a steep plunge. Risks for a major correction have rarely been higher. So everybody's ringing these alarms. So it says one of Wall Street's most bearish strategists said U.S. equities are facing a wall of worry, which could fuel a sharp sell-off in the near future. Morgan Stanley's Michael Wilson, so now you have a name to look up, whose outlook for a market slump in 2023 has yet to materialize, sees the S&P 500 at risk of a near-term draw. Well, what's certain catalyst? Why would they say it like that? There's certain catalysts that even I know about that hasn't reared its ugly head just yet. Says he expects the benchmark index to end this year at 3,900, about 10% below Friday's close, before rising to 4,200 in the second quarter of next year. Quote, the headwinds significantly outweigh the tailwinds, and we believe risk for a major correction have rarely been higher, quote, Wilson said in a client note on Monday. Morgan Stanley is sticking with an outlook for earnings that's below the market consensus, expecting S&P 500 EPS to be $185 this year, compared with an average estimate of $220. Wilson said deteriorating pricing and top-line disappointment will drive earnings misses. All right, we're going to stop right there. Once again, that's on fortune.com if you want to read the rest of that. But pretty much everyone's saying the same thing. We'll see if it comes to pass or not. All right, and we're going to end off here with a little bit of gold news. I haven't said this in a long time, but I can't help it. Gold makes me happy. It does. I just enjoy it. I do. I know I'm repeating myself. I like gold, platinum, silver. Yeah. And you know what's interesting? I was talking about copper recently. Remember that? I was talking about copper. There's a big company getting interested in copper. Okay. Oh, man, it wears me out when I say something and all of a sudden a big company steps in and they're like, oh, well, we got a use for copper. But maybe we'll discuss that another time. I'm not deep in copper, so, you know, it's not a pressing matter in my humble opinion. So the article here is titled, Gold Bulls Should Focus on Long-Term Protection, Not Short-Term Opportunity. I agree with that. Gold prices have fallen. This is from kitco.com, by the way. Gold prices have fallen to a 4-month low as Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell has stuck a hawkish tone during his two-day semi-annual testimony before Congress. However, looking at broader landscape, one market strategist said that despite the difficult headwinds, gold continues to show relative strength as U.S. monetary policy is only one small aspect driving the gold market. In a recent interview with Kitco News, George Milling Stanley, a chief gold strategist at State Street Global Advisors, said that if the gold market can continue to hold critical support, and I think that they will, at around $1,900 an ounce, there is a good chance prices can end the year higher. Well, there's a lot of catalysts involved too that could push that price up. Not that I'm really too concerned, but could push that price up. And a lot of the central banks are still buying record amounts of gold. We've been reporting on it, right? So Milling Stanley said that it is not surprising that the U.S. Central Bank has maintained its hawkish bias after it left interest rates unchanged at last week's monetary policy meeting. He noted that while inflation has dropped sharply from last year's highs, it's still well above 2% target. That's what I was saying too, as well. is they have to bring it down to target. So they're going to have to take more action, in my humble opinion. If they don't, it's very silly. And everything could reverse course. So instead of looking at short-term opportunity costs of holding gold in a rising interest rate environment, Milling Stanley said that investors should look at how gold can provide long-term protection and enhance risk adjustment returns. Quote, the fact that we have sticky, persistent inflation, and we had it for some time now, well above the Fed's target, I think is probably more important than just looking at what the Fed does from meeting to meeting. There is still a serious possibility of falling into a recession in this country. Why do they keep saying that? We've been in a recession. They admitted we're in a technical recession last year, even though they tried to change the definition of recession. We have over 900 banks at risk of failing. You have Jerome Powell and U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen both saying that commercial real estate is possibly going to crush a lot of the small banks. Then what's going to happen? Those people are going to go to the big banks, or are those people going to retreat to gold again like they did before with only a few banks? It was only Silvergate Bank. What was the other one? It was Silvergate Bank, Silicon Valley Bank, and whatever the other bank was that went down. That was just 3 or 4 banks, and people ran to gold, and look how it skyrocketed gold's price. Can you imagine if hundreds of banks were to go under, or let's just say a few more than 3 go under? People will retreat. The panic will set in. They will retreat to gold. Now, is that a guarantee? No, but it's a high likelihood because the people won't trust banks, and they don't know any other alternative because they haven't been staying privy on the truth of crypto. So they're going to go to gold, right? And it's interesting to me. Well, I'll say this: the bullion companies definitely made a push and took advantage of everything. There was buy some gold coins, buy some gold bars and stuff like that. Great. The gold card companies, I'm not so sure about. And there's a lot of great gold cards out there, but listen, when you have situations like that, those are the times where you take advantage of opportunity. And you get out there and you advertise your gold cards. They're a great alternative to banks and crypto if you don't want to get involved in crypto. I mean, you do have tokenized gold, but a lot of gold cards are not tokenized gold. You actually have gold in the vault, or you own it outright somehow. So that is there. So, but if that happens and people retreat to gold, that price will skyrocket, right? You have a lot of experts calling for gold to go back above $2,000 as well. Like I said, there's a lot of catalysts. I'm never concerned about gold at all. Everything's still looking good, but we stay balanced. We try to, stay abreast of all of the different information and consider all the reasonable possibilities. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.